Hi, this is Dr. Alan Barnard, CEO of Golden Research Labs. I'm continuing my testing with ChahtGPT to see the level of complexity of apps that we can build with it. And one of my favorite types of apps are simulation engines, which helps us to build virtual models of real-world objects or systems, so we can try out various strategies and see if they work. So I'm going to try to get ChahtGPT to build a 3D simulation model of a Rubik's Cube. And I'm going to be asking it to allow me to specify the size that I want. As you know, the standard Rubik's Cube is a 3x3x3 type of cube with different colors on each side. And I'm going to try to get it to build me one that is flexible, that's based on user input. You can decide what the size of the cube is that you want. Maybe you want a 5x5x5 or 10x10x10. And you should be able to scramble it, and you should be able to solve it with the simulator. Now, first of all, rendering a 3D object that is made up of segments is really, really hard if you're trying to code that. Secondly, to scramble it and get it to correctly turn segments together and not just move the cube around, that's also really tough. And that's where most of the apps that I previously tried, like Manus and Replit, etc., has failed. They've really struggled to be able to take a 3D cube and when you click scramble, get the different sections, horizontal or vertical sections, to move all together while maintaining the colors. And then, of course, the other part is being able to solve it. So once you've scrambled it, are you able to figure out how to solve it? And I want to build in randomness so it can't just reverse the scramble. It has to basically wipe out its memory of how it's scrambled and then to be able to solve it. So let me show you what I've done. This is the prompt that I'm going to be using. So please write a complete HTML JavaScript program using free.js that renders a fully interactive Rubik's Cube simulation of any size up to 20x20x20. I'm very ambitious here. The user should be able to specify the cube size dynamically, e.e. via an input or variable, and the cube should be constructed accordingly with proper color-coded faces, standard Rubik's Cube colors, white, yellow, red, orange, blue, and green. Include camera controls for rotating the view and allowing the basic user interaction such as the rotating layers of the cube via mouse or UI buttons. Additionally, implement the solve button that when clicked animates the cube being solved step by step visually. You can use a simplified solving algorithm. You do not need to match real Rubik Cube solving logic. The goal is just to animate the cube, returning to its original solve state one move at a time with clear transitions. So that's what my starting point was. And I'm going to be clicking go for it. And it's going to start thinking about this. So the first step is actually designing the requirements, and then based on that requirements, designing the type of interactions that it should offer the user, and then start thinking about what the code is that needs to be working on. And there you can see it starting to code. Now, to save some time, because it takes a minute to build all the code, I'm going to be switching over to my browser, and you can see here, this is the Replit version that I created. So that's pretty cool. And this was after probably about 3 days of trying with it, going through multiple replications. It was really struggling with the scrambling side and the solution side. So you can see there what kind of happens if you scramble it and then when you try to solve it, it just messes it all up. So I'm going to show you what ChahtGPT has been able to do. So here is the code on the left-hand side here, and this is the version that it's rendered. So let's look at wow, okay, so it works in terms of maneuverability. So I'm just clicking down on my trackpad and just moving my finger around to show. And if I use two fingers, I can zoom into it, which is pretty impressive. So let's get it into the traditional kind of mode so you can see there. So now for the big test, will it scramble properly? Oh my word. Wow. Okay, that is impressive. Really, really impressive. And now for the final check, will it solve it? Wow. Okay, it's done. Goodness, that's pretty amazing. And let's see if it can do a bit of a bigger one. Let's go big or go home. 10x10x10. Let's build it. Oh, wow. Okay, there we go. That is impressive. Okay, I would be shocked if this works because this gets really complicated. But let's go for it. Let's scramble it and see what happens. Wow, okay, you can see there it's struggling a little bit. It's lost some cells in the process, and it probably won't be able to solve it now, but you can see there it's lost some cells. So I will give that feedback to it to say, this is what's happening. Can you please solve it? And it will probably say, yes, there's something in my scrambling or solving algorithm where I'm not keeping the sections all together, and to do it. But very, very impressive that it could solve the 3x3 one without losing any sections. There we go again, still working and solving it. Pretty impressive. Let's see the 5x5. Let's zoom out a little bit. Let's see. Okay, it seems to be keeping everything in track there, which is great. Wow, really, really impressive. So I'd love to get your comments on it, and let me know what apps you've tried to build with ChatGPT 5 and what you think about it. As I mentioned in my post yesterday, the app building capability is very impressive. I am missing a little bit the way that it was responding very supportively, very empathetically, kind of longer type of conversational sentences, which is what ChatGPT 4.0 did, compared to 5. Version 5 feels more technical, more direct to the point, lacking a bit of empathy and support. But I'm sure they're going to be adding that back in, or at least give the user the option to do it. Looking forward to your questions and comments.